Hello and welcome to episode number 70 of Supercalifragilistic. My name is Christian Rauchenwald and today we're going to talk about perception and how it will help you keep going when things look really dark. Before we get to that, as always, a quick welcome to everybody who tunes in for the first time to this vlog/podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe or follow button depending on what's available on the platform you're enjoying this content. And if you're curious about why and how I started this journey using ClickFunnels and the One Funnel Away Challenge to become more independent and work towards my financial freedom, make sure to check out the first episode of this series. That said, let's talk about perception. You probably wonder what I mean. It's like there is a huge difference between, or one essential difference between people who eventually succeed and people who fail in life. Those people who tell you, well, I tried, but it didn't work. And the biggest difference is those people who succeeded eventually, they didn't give up. The best example I like to point it out is right here. If you're watching the video, you see me pointing to one of my canvases at my office wall. It's a quote of Thomas Edison, who required more than 10,000 tries before finally succeeding in inventing the light bulb. And then he said, I did not fail, I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Now, most people, honestly, me included, probably would not have kept going or wouldn't keep going for that long. But if you have a true desire to succeed, if you know, you just somehow know that it has to work, then you will do exactly that. And in tough times, why am I calling this episode We Talk About Perception? Because let's say it like this, each of us has its own reality. It sounds a little bit weird, but it is like this. We all there's no absolute truth. We look at things and each of us considers makes up his own mind and considers something a truth, while from another perspective, something else may seem to be the truth. And how does this help you? Well, it's always your choice how you perceive things. For example, I really trained myself over the last 10 years to have a positive mindset. And in fact, staying positive or being my positive self has become my priority number one in life, because I know only when I'm feeling good, when I'm happy, I'm a help to others, I'm more productive, my output is better. What I produce also conveys that positive energy. It's a little bit like when you go into a room and there are only people complaining and sick, or maybe not physically sick, but you can see that they're unhappy, unsatisfied. It almost is contagious. While when you have these kind of people who are always kind of entertaining whole groups, and how all the people collect or sum up around them because they also enjoy that positive energy. And the same applies to you in a small scale alone. When you have negative thoughts, it leads to more negative thoughts. You need to condition yourself to think positive. It's really crucial, and it's especially crucial when things don't go your way. Now, how can you do that, for example? So if we look at our journey with ClickFunnels so far, so I don't know if I probably mentioned it before, but our monthly recurring expenses, like rent, some business expenses, since I'm running two companies, one in Hong Kong and one in the Ukraine, software licenses alone, Wistia alone, the service I'm using to host my videos, is $100 per month, and all combined it sums up to close to $3,000 per month. Yeah, so something around that. Yeah, so it's not small. It's for two people living in a huge apartment in a third world country in a bigger city. Yeah, and also again a lot of business expenses. It really is like this. Yeah, and now, looking at our progress so far, we learned about ClickFunnels at the end of February, if I remember right, early March, end of February, and we joined the challenge in March. We joined the challenge, the One Funnel Away challenge in March, and started promoting ClickFunnels in the middle of the challenge or at the end of the challenge. So roughly 12 weeks ago. And well, in our first month, if I recall right, we played around with Google Ads and we got lucky and got one sale for the One Funnel Away challenge. So we made $100, but we also spent $30. So it's not profit, it's just revenue, $100. Yeah. And in our second month, I got two of my friends to sign up for the One Funnel Away challenge, if I'm not mistaken. And so there we made $200 from them, and had from links on Facebook and stuff like that, a few other signups. And now this month for the current One Funnel Away challenge, we actually had so that I don't lie, I think it was 5 signups. Yeah, like roughly around 5, and most of them, 4 of them were last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you see, if I now look at the dollar amounts, I could be deeply frustrated about it, because we need to reach a point, because we're currently living off our savings, and we need to reach a point eventually before our savings run out, where we cover the $3,000 recurring costs, like based on the revenue we make with ClickFunnels and our own funnel. Yeah. So based on that, I could say, oh, it's not working. We've spent weeks, and those of you who are following me probably see like how much content we put out there, how active we are in Facebook groups, how many videos we produce, how many blog posts we write. Maybe you even follow my Instagram account, our Pinterest profile, Twitter account, LinkedIn account, and you see how much output we create there. And still, we don't have the results that we need. We don't need them today, but that we eventually will need. Yeah. So like we would have every reason to say like, oh, it's not working and blah blah blah, but we do not do that, because I know it's about perception. Now I could be, as said, I could be deeply demotivated, and sometimes it's a little discouraging. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I see people out there like honestly like being unethical in their way promoting things, and then showing me seeing the results that are like insane compared to we have. Actually, today I had a great example. Some guy like just sent me a friend request, and I accept a lot of people, and after a short hello, and that he saw that I also like ClickFunnels, and asking me how I'm doing, and me telling him that I already made $1,000 with ClickFunnels, or over $1,000. He didn't even bother to read that response, because he promoted the One Funnel Away challenge to me and showed me his dashboard showing $80,000 in sale, and like 9,000 only in the last 30 days or something like this. And then I think like somebody who goes out there, doesn't provide value, just like cold contacts people and is like, oh yeah, even promised me like if I sign up, if I know the One Funnel Away challenge, because it will get me listed for a 2 Comma Club award or something like that. Yeah. Then I see somebody that works like this, earning 3 times the money that we would need to pay our bills, and it's slightly discouraging then. Yeah. Or yeah, like that's one of the examples. So how do I like turn that to my favor? Our activities on LinkedIn so far, like we've connected with over 1,000 people, and somehow our messaging just don't work. It's not that LinkedIn doesn't work, it's that the way we message those people, our follow-up messages, are not converting. Yeah, so we could improve that, but it's very like yeah. So I could look at everything and then be like on a neutral mood, maybe slightly discouraged, maybe slightly positive, or I can pick what I look at. I can say, okay, let's look at my YouTube channel and see the growth there. Oh, it's actually growing, it brings result. I can look at our Facebook group and see, well, just like 24 hours ago I recorded a video, or slightly more than 24 hours ago I recorded a video, maybe it was 2 days ago, like time is kind of like, welcoming our 100th member to the group, and within the last 24 hours we reached 120 people in the group, and that even with me declining people, because even after 7 days they somehow don't manage to answer 3 simple questions. Yeah. So I declined 10 people, and we still got 20 new people into the group, and that within a day. So it's like, well, the last 28 days, we got like 95 people in the group, and yesterday, or in the last 24 hours, or let it be 30 hours, or even 48 hours, doesn't matter, we increased by 20%. If I just say we got 20 more people, it's like motivating. I see it works. But if I put it then in percentage, it suddenly becomes insane. We have a 20% increase in like less than 2 days. Yeah. That's like really insane. I would never have expected to see a day with a 20% increase. Simple as that. Like, yeah. And suddenly it's motivating. When I then look at our ClickFunnels affiliate sales, I can do the same thing. Yes, in dollar amounts, it's discouraging. Yeah. Like, when I see my credit card bills, and then I see like, our income from ClickFunnels, it's like slightly discouraging. When I then turn those numbers and I look at the monthly numbers and turn them, like starting with the first $100 we sold in the first month, or maybe it was 200, like I would need to look at the statistics exactly, yeah, and then just turn it into percentages, and I see then that we are on an upward trend. Yeah. When I then go further and I look at Irina's blog posts, so while I'm producing these videos daily and then also like publishing them as a podcast, Irina is writing a blog daily, which is published in, or a blog post daily, which is published in an old like project that like got abandoned by me and like whatever. But the website ranks with Google or has some credibility with Google. So we just decided to push all the existing content in the legacy category to don't lose the visitors that those blog post topics already bring, and create new categories that focus on using that blog for affiliate on online marketing. And to see there that her blog posts get the first views and that people click on the links there. We had like this week 5 link clicks from the blog post, no sales or whatever. Then I can use it, look at ClickMagick or bit.li to look at like how many people click on the links that we have in place everywhere. Like maybe like within the Facebook group or within Facebook comments that I'm writing, or within the blog, or within other sources like the YouTube video description. And I see that the number of clicks is increasing as well. And again, so like I could look at only the things that don't work, and I would probably tell each of you like, it's been nice, but I'm not gonna keep doing this anymore. Or I can like keep myself motivated by like basically like focusing only on the things that work. It's obviously not a way to go through life, for sure not, because you also need to be aware about your problems, like what doesn't work and so on. But especially when you're trying to build something and it's challenging, it helps you to stay motivated, to focus on your small successes as you go, like every small win you have, like every increase you have. My podcast, for example, like while I publish this content as well as a podcast, like the viewer or the listener numbers are actually horrible. Like I have an audience of 1 person, so I don't know who it is, but somebody keeps listening. It already grew at some point, but then apparently some of the episodes were either too long or the content wasn't interesting, so I lost like 2 people listening. If I would look on that, if I would make daily episode and only publish them as a podcast, that would be deeply discouraging. But I can just ignore the podcast because creating it doesn't cause a lot of effort for me, but it's an additional way to reach people. And so you see, that's how perspective like matters. It's always your choice. You can always like focus on the negative, or you can focus on the positive. It goes so far, like I'm really like, some people call me like I'm cold or something, because I'm actually at the point, again, I'm like, I've been conditioning myself on positive thinking for now over 10 years. And I got to a point where even if somebody passes away, which is always sad, I do not feel sad about it. It does not matter if it's a close person or not, because I then simply think, well, if I were to pass away, I wouldn't want my friends and family to cry or feel sad. I would want them to remember me, like the positive, the great times we had, and to just like remember me and live and enjoy their life further. And so therefore I just conclude for myself that whoever passed away probably wishes the same for me. And then instead of being sad and crying, I really remember the days and weeks or whatever I spent with that person, the great moments I had, and I have a smile on my face. Like I'm not sad in those cases because I condition myself. It's about perspective, how you look at it. You can look at that person is gone and life's now gonna be awful because I will never see them again. Or you can actually treasure the times you had together. And that's for sure an extreme example. And again, maybe not something you wanna reach. But if you break it down to smaller examples, like your journey with ClickFunnels, your journey in building your own company and stuff like that, and all the like stepping stones along the way, it's pretty much the same thing. You choose how you perceive things, how you look at them. That said, no action for you, just enjoy the content. And join my Facebook group if you're not there already. So we have another day with a 20% increase. And talk to you tomorrow with episode number 71 of Super Califunnalistic. Till then, bye-bye.